Hi, my name is Coldbear and let's start with Mad Max. The events of the original Mad Max unraveled in the year of 2021, coincidentally, so if you thought that this year was really bad, with all that pandemic, lockdowns and death everywhere, remember, it could be worse, with all this post-apocalyptic stuff that is actually happening in Mad Max. Anyway, I know that this can't shoo your anxiety away, but I know what can. Buy this game and kick some ass! I've heard that helps a lot, and the game is great. A lot of car action, fist fighting and shooting will definitely entertain you for days, or at least a few hours. Or, you know, not at all. Depends on you. Fallout New Vegas. This is one of the best Fallout games ever created. You know, including classic games and new, Fallout New Vegas outshines them all like an exploding star outshines, you know, a pile of garbage under your desk.
Did you just compare the supernova with a pile of garbage?
Yes, I did, and shut up. Well, this metaphor may be too harsh, I admit it. Other Fallout games are good as well, but everyone who played New Vegas is talking quite anonymously about its greatness. Its glorious, ever-shining greatness.
You are a fan.
No, I'm not. Shut up. Game was created by Obsidian, the same guys who made The Outer Worlds and now are making some Elder Scrolls knockoff called The Avowed. So serious people made this serious game, and this price is kinda friendly, not like all the inhabitants of the desert you will encounter in-game. Assassin's Creed Unity. Game is set in the city of Paris during one of its darkest hours. The French Revolution is in action. You will do all the usual Assassin's Creed stuff and take part in one of the most important moments of French history in a compelling storyline and events that shape the city today. Although the game is cool and all, it requires a Ubisoft Connect server to play. And if it's down, you can't play the game. Also, the co-op feature that is kinda famous here is plagued with connection bugs and errors. It's a nice game, but I warned you for a reason. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I remember when Oblivion initially came out, I was roaming through the neighborhood trash containers collecting empty beer bottles so I could sell them and finally could buy the graphics card Oblivion needed to run. I was poor, but I was stubborn, so I got the card and I played the game. I did that non-stop for a month or so. My son was about 2 years old back then, but I can remember Oblivion way clearer than my son growing up, and I have no regrets. This game is amazing. Now its graphics are not so cool anymore, but with a few mods you can upgrade it to look like a modern game and enjoy it even now. The feature that is most outdated is the faces of the characters, but let us be honest, our faces 15 years ago were way better than they are now, and that's a fact as well. Just Cause 3. The Mediterranean Republic of Medici is suffering under the control of a dictator with a huge appetite for power. So, as I've said in a previous video, this is some kind of Mediterranean Belarus, and you have to show them what freedom looks like. And it looks like death and explosions of dictators' troops and allies. He will be given complete vertical freedom, skydive, base jump, and free dive in an open world the size of 1,000 square kilometers, so you can create chaos in all of this land and have a lot of fun. Pine. To some, this game is super fun and reminds of old-school RPGs such as Fable and Zelda, and others are not so happy about it. People are talking that this game is buggy and has clunky combat mechanics, but also super adorable with engaging environment and fun to play. Also, players are recommending to buy this game on a sale, which is now. Pine will swallow about 20 hours of your boring life. Risen 3. People who played previous Risen games are saying that this one is not as good, and they usually leave a negative review on Steam, but those who never played any Risen games are saying that this game is great. It has some flaws like terrible voice acting, but in general this is a simple open world adventure that will try to entertain you for several hours. Divinity 2 Developer's Cut. Break free from the confines of the human body and take to the skies as a dragon in this RPG adventure that challenges your wits and pits you against puny foes. Spread your wings and burn your enemies. Divinity 2 Developer's Cut includes the Ultimate Edition of Divinity 2, which is about 100 hours of gameplay, as well as the brand new developer mode, which allows you to play as any unit created in the game. Really cool feature, and this price is a joke. Bound by Flame. This is a heroic fantasy RPG that has you playing as a mercenary possessed by a demon. As dangers and enemies approach, you will be tempted to yield a bit more of your soul to the demon that possesses you in order to gain more power. And as the demon gains more of your soul, your physical transformation becomes more obvious. The real-time battles are both dynamic and impressive. If you start your adventure by mastering the basics of combat, assassination, and eventually fire magic, you can later specialize by unlocking and improving many skills that you will use in each of the 3 talent trees. The game has some annoying bugs and quite terrible voice acting, but in general it's an okay game to try. Darkwood. The question of the hour is, how big are your balls? This game is scary and will test your bravery, so the more balls you have, the better this game will be for you. If you have just 2, it may not be enough. I heard 7 is the optimal number. Darkwood's atmosphere will engulf you like a xenomorph facehugger before laying eggs into your stomach. Except instead of eggs, Darkwood will lay fear into your mind. You may think, this is just a game with a top-down view, everything is so small, how can it be scary? Well, your mother-in-law is way smaller than you are, and you are still terrified of her anyway, right? Thief. Ye will step into the silent shoes of Garrett, a dark and lonely thief with an unrivaled set of skills. The most challenging heists, the most inaccessible loots, the best kept secrets. Nothing is out of your reach. You will explore the sick and troubled city, from its shady black alleys to the heights of its roofs, sneak into the rich houses, infiltrate the best guarded mansions, and lurk in every dark corner like a creep, which you are. Keep in mind that this is a
very slow-paced game.
It requires a lot of your patience and everything you do. Also, if you played Dishonored before, it will feel like you already know the story, otherwise the game is nice. Kingdom New Lands.
Wait, what? This is open world?
Well, technically yeah, although you can only move in 2 dimensions, this game has a world and it is open. Travel to the new lands and welcome the deluge of new mounts, merchants and vagrants that call these isles home. But be wary of the new obstacles that threaten your arrival, for not just the greedy creatures block your way, but even the environment itself can defeat you. That somehow reminded me of a moment when I gave my girlfriend to play Star Wars Jedi Academy a long time ago, and she managed to kill herself in the very first minute of the game by cutting down a tree that fell on her. That is a skill. Anyway, Kingdom New Lands asks you to puzzle things out on your own. You'll come across items, NPCs and mysterious statues to help you, but you'll have to figure out just how exactly they will aid you in building and defending your kingdom. Stalker: Shadow of Chernobyl. Overwhelmingly positive reviews are really rare on Steam. To be fair, a ginger with a soul is probably more common than that. So, this classic open-world first-person shooter has definitely stood the test of time. This result comes from 20,000 reviewers, and almost all of them agree that this game is amazing. Although I also must say that this game is really scary. It makes you go to the abandoned buildings and cellars searching for goodies such as artifacts you can sell, and those places are teeming with monsters. And when I say monster, I mean it, because in nowadays society the word monster has lost its meaning completely. Real monsters should be terrifying. A giant scorpion, an ogre, a dragon, a troll, a werewolf or a vampire. Those are usually called monsters, but they're not. It's like calling that thing for €5 vodka. It's not vodka, it's poison. Sadly, that's the only vodka I can afford. So subscribe and like so I could buy more expensive vodka, live longer and make more videos. Anyway, if you want a real example of what monster is, just look at your ex-mother-in-law. Or play Shadow of Chernobyl. Those Soviet buildings are full of creepy shit. Like, even now, I'm living in one, and some of my neighbors are really creepy. And literally, I don't need to go to Chernobyl to feel like in one. Famous HBO Chernobyl series were literally filmed in my block in Vilnius, I'm not kidding. So thank you for watching. Check my other videos about the sale, there are plenty of them already, and consider subscribing for more. I do lists like that all the time. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye!